Welcome back, everybody. This is episode 2 of Marcus Talks What's the Point podcast. This second episode, it's been quite drawn out to get it done. Basically, I've been trying to get some guests to come on over the last couple of weeks. We did have some lined up, but due to the UK going back into lockdown, it's been really difficult to navigate and just find slots of time. Obviously, in this digital age, it is easier, but just trying to kind of pin down times, and it's been slightly difficult. So this week, I'm gonna present this podcast myself today again, and just basically give you a couple of tips and tricks just to keep you guys going. If you are struggling, especially in the UK at the moment, obviously worldwide we're going through massive challenges at the moment. I just wanted to touch base really, and just because I've had loads of people contact me, which, to be honest, has been mental. It's been absolutely overwhelming. Didn't think, the first episode would reach so many people, but I've had loads of people messaging me on Instagram and on Facebook. So it's really, really cool, really awesome to actually already be, getting some traction with this. Literally didn't think I would have a single person listening after the first one. So, quite amazed, really. So, basically, I wanted to kind of touch base and just run through some things that, if we are struggling, things that you can do right now. And because it's the morning at the moment here, I've kind of led the morning with something that I've always, that I've struggled with over the years, and I thought it'd be really cool to share my journey with it, because it's definitely something that I'm able to overcome now. And it's basically when you wake up in the morning, whether you suffer with any mental health issues, or whether you identify with anything like that, or whether you simply wake up in this kind of sluggish kind of way, it's that feeling when you wake up of impending doom. That's the way I've described it. So, like you feel like something is wrong, just something is amiss every time you wake up. And during my early 20s and mid-20s, and probably throughout the whole of my 20s, I'm 34 now, I had this feeling, and it used to consume me. So, and it's definitely not a good way to start your day, because obviously when you take everything on board that it's trying to say to you, or you interpret it in a way you think it's telling you something, you go on about your day in a very bad way, or potentially a bad way. Some things may trigger you out of it, but when you wake up in this funk, you've got this feeling of intense impending doom, like something is wrong. Literally, like you don't know what it is. You're struggling to tell your partner. They don't understand, or they're trying their best to understand and help you, but it just feels like you're the only one in this fight, and you're the only one that's going through this in the entire world. That's what it feels like sometimes. And basically, I've done a lot of work on myself, to the point where I still get the same feelings. And this is quite important. I still get the same feelings of anxiety, depression, sadness, happiness. I still get all of the emotions, but I am able to, I call it shelving them. So I'm able to literally pick up the feeling and put it on a shelf and just look at it and identify it and acknowledge it. and hold myself accountable for the way I react to a thought. Because, basically, these feelings of impending doom, these feelings of, you've literally got nothing stable to stand on, they are reactions from the thoughts. Now, the thoughts are completely made up. And that's not to discount whether you are actually going through some type of hardships in your life. But the thought itself is what's causing this emotion, this reaction. And the thoughts, if you're suffering with depression, many times people suffer with both depression and anxiety. It's a similar thing. It's definitely something I suffered with, and still do. But yeah, many times it's like your head is thinking about something in the past, or how things used to be, or how good you had it back then, and then you're thinking about maybe how your life's not exactly the way you wanted it to go, and you feel like a bit of a failure. And then you're thinking about things that haven't even happened yet. So when you're depressed, you're thinking about the past. When you're anxious, you're thinking about the future 9 times out of 10. So you're thinking and anticipating some sort of drama before it's even happened. Now, again, when you start to break it down, because obviously when you are in the middle of it, it's all consuming, and I get it. I've been there a million times. But when you start to break it down in this way, and you start to look at these thoughts, and don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to discount it whatsoever, because when they are inside you, you feel completely trapped by these thoughts, and you feel very lost and lonely, and that is what I'm trying to do here, is help you guys unpack and understand where these thoughts are coming from, and how to actually digest them and deal with them. Because things that I've learned along the way is it's completely normal to feel like this. Absolutely completely normal. And you'll be astounded at the amount of people that have exactly the same thought processes as you. It doesn't matter how extreme your thoughts are, how weird they are, everyone gets them. And that's really important to understand, that there are countless people out there with the same mindset, the same triggers as you. Which when I first heard, it was quite comforting to hear, because obviously, you do feel completely on your own when you're in this kind of funk headspace. So my journey has taken me massively through loads of books and through loads of seminars and all that kind of stuff, and meditation and yoga, and really trying to find myself, and ultimately understanding. And I had penny drop moments where I just understood, and the storm kind of passed as soon as I understood. And I think that's a really key place to get to. Now, I know it's very hard for some people to switch off these thoughts. It's definitely still hard for me, but I am confident in the place that I've got to be able to shelve them, identify them, and not let them consume me like they used to. So I've kind of put together something here, and this is something that helped me in the beginning when I didn't have the depth or the breadth of vocabulary around the subject of meditation and ego, and I didn't have that kind of breadth of knowledge around this subject. Hadn't read all the books and done all the work, so there were simple things that I came up against that, not up against, but I used to kind of get out of my funk. And these were things that professional people had taught me. And I thought it was really interesting that, some things along the way you'll pick up and some things you won't. And that's okay as well. Just like when you read a book, if you don't understand half of it, but you've understood a sentence and that sentence is mind-blowing, then that book's done its job. It's done its work. You don't have to force yourself into some sort of holistic well-being monster of, impenetrable brain, because we are human and we need to literally just go easy on ourselves. So, two key things that I was taught. The one was, as soon as I understood this word as well, it was absolutely mind-blowing. But literally, the word surrender. Now, this word I'd seen bandied around, but I'd never looked at it and really read it and then applied it to myself. So the word surrender, let go. Sorry, I got a frog in my throat right now. But the word surrender, let go. Just let it, like you've heard the terms like go with the flow. Because there are things you can control and things you cannot control. And 9 times out of 10, people are trying to control the things they cannot control. Like they're stressing over the smallest details. When realistically, if you just let go, imagine if you could let go of this chain around your neck of thoughts and emotion. Imagine if you could just let it go. Just think about that for a moment, because these thoughts and emotions are literally made up in your head. And when you can start to look at the thoughts and not be the thoughts, that's when things start getting easier. So it won't work straight away. But if you do that day after day, right, I can see that thought there. Okay, that made me feel like this. And if you do that day after day after day, you really start to get some distance between yourself, the true you, and the thoughts that are going on in your head. Okay? And these thoughts, I've said it before, they are all consuming. But when you realise that you can surrender and just let go and go, okay, thank you, brain. Thank you for that thought. I don't need it right now. I'm going to put it on that shelf because I want to do this with my life. You literally have control straight away. You've got control straight away back in your hands, just from literally talking to your thought and saying, no, I don't want that right now, thank you. Because it's not you. You are not the thought, okay? So the word surrender for me was massive, because as soon as I just started letting go of grudges, as soon as I started letting go of financial anxiety, as soon as I started letting go of, like all of the pressures that society put on us, that we must uphold. Like, when was the last time that you guys took some time out just to make yourself a cup of tea or coffee or to read a book? Really, put your feet up or go for a lovely walk. We have everything we need on this planet, and we have every tool available to deal with these thoughts and emotions within ourselves. It's really important to understand this. You are not out of control. You may feel out of control, but you are not. And I can honestly say this because I suffered with chronic mental illness for years and years and years, told by different doctors that I had chemical imbalance in my brain and you need to take these pills. And what modern medicine doesn't teach you is how to actually access the tools that we've got inside us. And these tools are absolutely the best way to overcome these feelings. So that's the first thing that I wanted to introduce was the word surrender. And I really want you to understand that word, to let go, to surrender, to just, I don't need to do that road rage right now. That guy can hold that anger and drive away. I really should just go for a little walk right now, just to clear my head. It's okay. It's completely cool to just let go. That really important task that you need to do today, maybe get it done. Or is it that important that it could wait until tomorrow, just to give yourself some more time? So the word surrender, really, really dig into that and get your teeth stuck into that word, because it's so powerful once you start to understand it and applying it to your life. The second thing, and I've kind of mentioned this before to a few friends and family, and it's something that's really stuck with me throughout my journey. And it is for people really that really struggle with meditation, sitting still, stopping their thoughts. It literally just gives you a momentary, in the moment kind of perception, or it gives you a bit of perspective, really. It gives you some perspective, and you can literally kind of unattach yourself from the thoughts. So imagine that you are a cube, or your brain is a cube, or imagine there's a cube right in front of you. Okay? And there's 6 sides to this cube, and on each side of the cube is something very important to you, or mildly important to you, something that's on your mind. These thoughts, what are your thoughts right now that are controlling you? What are you anxious about? What are you depressed about? So it could be, for example, you could have one side of your cube as your children, if you've got kids, okay? Or something very important to you, like a pet or something. But I'm going to use kids because I've got a beautiful boy and he's really important to me. Another side could be work. And literally, you could be as general as that. Just call one side of them work. Another side could be yourself, because you are important, okay? So make yourself one side of that cube. And then another side could be a hobby, something that you really want to do or to keep up, or, something you've dropped the ball with maybe recently. And then another side could be friends. And then another side could be extended family. So all of a sudden you've got a cube, and each face of the cube is something important to you. Now, this is really, really, really important to understand with this, that no matter which side the cube is facing, all of these important things are still there, okay? They are still there. You haven't forgotten about them. You haven't gotten rid of them. But right now, you are looking at one side of the cube that is important to you right now and you're working on right now. And again, it doesn't mean that you've forgotten about your kids or your work or your hobbies or your friends or whatever, but it just means whichever side of the cube you're looking at, that's what you focus on right now. So that side of the cube might be yourself, because you are important, okay? And when you're looking at that side of the cube, it's kind of like giving you the perspective you need away from those thoughts. You're looking at that side of the cube that's got you on it. What do you need right now to make yourself feel better? Is it a chocolate bar, a candy bar? Is it a cup of tea? Is it a walk? Is it a talk with some friends? So then, do you need to connect with your friends and then flip the cube over to the other side Is that something that is important to you right now? So this was a really cool way when I first started kind of developing tools around my mental health. This was a really cool way to disengage from the all-consuming thoughts all at once. Okay, so I just think this is a really cool thing before people should try and meditate, because meditation can get very frustrating for people that feel like they cannot do it, because you're sitting there and you're trying to turn off your thoughts. You're really struggling to shut the mind up, basically. A lot of people call it monkey brain, where it just keeps on going, keeps on talking bad, it keeps on nattering, it keeps on, these episodes, guys and girls, are to pick apart and help you guys pick apart from this day forward your minds and your thought patterns and your negative thought patterns and your positive thought patterns, and just really understand where we start to develop these habits and really start to get a hold of your life again and move forward. Today is a brand new day. Doesn't matter when you're listening to this podcast. Today's a brand new day. You've got every opportunity today to make it a different day. So if you just do one thing today to try to change a thought process or a behaviour pattern that you've been stuck with for years, if you just try today is a success. It's a success because you've tried to better yourself. It doesn't matter if you haven't achieved the success in your head. What matters is you're trying to better yourself and trying to be better, because by being better, everyone around you will see that you're trying to be better, and they'll start feeling better, and it's just a knock-on effect of everyone feeling great around you because you're trying your best. Some people around you won't understand. Some friends and family have their own fears and insecurities that they smear all over you. For instance, if I was a closet swimmer and I started swimming out of the blue, and my family started saying, well, I'm not into swimming. Well, I wonder why he's swimming. And they start, making jokes about me swimming. That's them smearing their insecurities all over me and stopping me from going for something that I really want to do. Now, you got to have a really long, hard look at yourself and your friends and your family around you. And if someone's constantly putting you down and being negative, you've just got to have a good talk with yourself and to see whether they belong in your life, whether you spend less time with them, more time with them. You listen to them, you don't listen to them. That's something that you've got to manage yourself. But yeah, I think today I've covered a few little tips and tricks there that I've used over the years, and the cube is something I still use to this day. I just think it's a really quick and easy way to kind of get some perspective on managing your time and managing your expectations and managing your emotions. So hopefully next time I do a episode, I will have one of my guests coming on. We've got some great guests lined up. Really, really good, really cool, deep stories, their journeys, their challenges, and these are normal, everyday people. These haven't been plucked for their celebrity name or, rags to riches. These are genuine, everyday people that you can listen and have an insight into their challenges and their struggles. I'm trying to do this just to help you guys and girls, just to help you navigate life, because there's a lot of negativity out there, and if I can just share some wisdom. You know, you can then share that wisdom to your friends if you think it's helped you, or if it's just improved your day, or just improved your short term or your long term. You know, this is why I'm doing it, and it will always be free. It's always going to be, you know, from the heart, humble. And yeah, I can't thank you guys enough for listening already, for messaging already. There's a few people that have already messaged saying that they want to come on to the podcast. So we're in contact with those guys just to kind of sort something out. But yeah, if you do want to appear on the podcast, please do get in touch via the Instagram page or Facebook. And yeah, I can't wait to show you the next episode, guys. But thank you for listening today. I hope these tips and tricks have helped you. And if you feel inspired at all, if you want to share this, if you want to share it with your friends, please feel free. It means the world to me and to the people that you'll be sharing it to. But yeah, I hope you guys have an amazing day, an amazing week, an amazing year. I know it's a weird one with coronavirus, but you know, in the storm, there is some hope and some calm and some really positive things to come out of this. So yeah, I'll speak to you guys soon, and thank you very much for listening.